Greetings, friends. I'm AK,
And I'm Laura,
and we are the
the
Chainsaw
Chainsaw
Girls.
Girls. On today's episode, I am always so excited, but I'm mega excited for this one. We are covering 1984's Night of the Comet.
Woo woo.
I'm so excited. Now, before we start the episode, I want to say one of our patrons, who's actually one of my patrons and the Chainsaw Girls patrons, has been asking us to cover this movie since the inception of the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan, franchise driller.
What up,
This
franchise driller?
This is for you, my friend. This is for you. All right. So Night of the Comet was directed and written by Tom Eberhardt. It's his third film that he ever directed. And he also directed Honey, I Blew Up the Kid. Thought that was kind of neat.
Oh, I
Uh,
love that one.
I know, me too. I love Honey, I Shrunk the Kids is one of my favorite fucking movies. That chocolate chip cookie that they eat with Auntie looks so good.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about the cookie that the ant eats. Is that what you just said?
Yeah, with the cream.
Oh, yeah. I don't know
Yeah.
what I thought you said.
And when Auntie dies, it's so sad.
Oh, you're calling him auntie. Okay. I thought you were talking
Yeah.
about someone's auntie. That's why I was like, I think we're talking about two different things. No, that scene is burned into my brain, but I digress.
Me too, me too. Okay, so Night of the Comet had a budget of, listen to this, 700,000. It grossed 14.4 million in the box office, baby. And that's just US. So who
And
knows
that's
worldwide?
also wild considering the movies that came out around it. Nightmare on Elm Street was a week before. Terminator, I think, came out like a week and a half before.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Crazy.
wild.
No, it's so bananas. And actually, this movie inspired Joss Whedon to write Buffy.
I saw that.
Isn't that cool? And I can
Yeah.
totally see it because Regina is a badass. Sam is a badass. I love these girls.
Yeah. This was actually my first time watching this movie. And of course, I loved it.
You did.
Yes. Right
It's
up my
so
alley.
fun. It's
So
so fun.
80s.
So 80s, so fun. Shall I read IMDb?
Please do.
Okay, a comet wipes out most of life on Earth, leaving two valley girls fighting against cannibal zombies and a sinister group of scientists.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
This movie's a little bit horror, a little bit sci-fi, a little bit romance, a little bit action. There's a
A
lot
little bit
going on.
comedy. It's funny too.
Yes, it is a horror comedy as well. I found this
Mhm.
movie on Tubi. So if it's on
Me too.
Tubi, that's all you need to know, really, right?
Agreed. Yes, Tubi. I watched it there as well. Shall we jump in, or do you want to, are there anything that you want to kind of like top? Is there anything you want to talk about
All of
before?
my fun facts and all that are at the end of my notes, so I'm totally down to just jump into the movie.
Okay, sweet. And if anything comes up as we go, I'll just jump in with
Hell
whatever.
yeah.
We love it. Let's go.
All right, so we are starting off on a starry sky, and a narrator is telling us this long-winded story, basically that the visitor was returning. He says it much more eloquent than that, but he tells us that our planet was orbiting through the tail of a comet. The last time this happened was when the dinosaurs disappeared. Yikes.
Yikes.
And then we cut to a nice little montage of people lining the streets to observe and celebrate this comet.
Oh,
Okay,
they're
they
very
have
excited.
signs.
Dude,
Well,
I was just going to say this is December 14th, 1984 or December
yes,
13th, 1984, depending on when exactly the comet went over. But we're close to
right.
Christmas, okay? And
Yeah.
this almost feels like an event and like this because it's supposed to look like a light show. That's what they're kind of saying. It's like you're going to see
Mhm.
all these amazing a meteor shower and it's amazing and blah 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 blah. The scientists, on the other hand, no, this ain't it. Like
Yeah.
it's not going to be a party.
I mean, they have signs like a pro wrestling show. Like,
That's
I
I was
love the
going to say the same
comet.
thing. Yeah, like Bristol boards.
Yes, one of the signs says, "Don't panic. It's completely safe." Like, you
I
just
love
jinxed
it.
it.
No, I love it. It's so ridiculous.
Do you remember in the 90s when there were so many signs in the crowd that you couldn't even, like, the people behind them, there's no way that they could see?
Oh my gosh, my mom, when I went to my first wrestling event when I was 9, my mom is an art, like she's an amazing artist, and she drew the Ultimate Warrior's mask and then wrote warrior above it, and it was like it looked like a work of art. It was like she had like used all these different markers to make the mask look it was beautiful. It was this huge Bristol board.
Oh, I wish you had a picture of it. I want to see it.
I know. I wish I had a picture. I wish I had pictures from that event because I got to see Jake the Snake, got to see Warrior. Like, I mean, it was a huge deal. It was in Hamilton.
That's awesome. I only went to one WWF show, WWE. It was WWF at the time, Raw, when I was a kid. Surprisingly, only one. Y'all already know my trauma story about not being taken to Joe Louis Arena when Stone Cold jumped off the Zamboni, but I did go when I was 14. That was the only Raw that I ever went to. And it was at Joe Louis Arena. All my
Mhm.
siblings and I made signs for all of our favorite wrestlers. We all got to see our favorite wrestlers, except my
Oh.
youngest brother. He made this giant cutout, like Kane poster. And Kane was like the only person that didn't come out that night for some reason. And I
Oh,
felt
that's
so bad
sad.
for him.
Oh, that's so sad.
But yeah, I do miss the aesthetic of all the signs in the crowd, just covering the entire crowd. But also, I'm aware that the way it is now is a much better experience, I'm sure, for people watching from the crowd.
Okay, can I also say one time at an AEW show in Toronto, somebody had a huge cardboard cutout of me in the audience. It was
Amazing.
like the coolest thing I'd ever seen. I was like,
Amazing.
holy shit. Yeah.
I love when people send me pictures of when remember actually it's because of
Yes,
you.
I
What?
know. You're talking about you as a cardboard cutout with a stick
Yes.
when we brought you to Chelsea's New Year's Eve party. We wanted you there.
Yes.
So me and Rosemary made a cardboard cutout of your head.
And then I ended up turning them into merch because that's all we know is the hustle. And
Dude,
so I
I'm
had
so
actually still
happy.
have one.
Dude, I'm
Oh my
so
gosh, do
glad
I
that you
have
turned
one?
it into merch, man. What that is the hustle for real.
Oh, I think I sold my last one. Okay, anyway. Um Yes, I know we're getting way off topic, but when people would take them to like WWE or whatever and take a picture with it in the crowd, and I don't know, I love it. It's
That's
so cute.
amazing.
Yeah.
Dude, it's awesome. It's awesome.
Anywho,
Any Oogly Boos. Okay, so we're introduced to one of our main players here. This is Regina Belmont. She's played by Catherine Mary Stewart. She's playing a video game in the lobby of the movie theater that she works at. It's called, the game is Tempest, and it's a 1981 Atari game that was made specifically for arcades. I fucking loved arcades, and I'm so sad. I'm so sad that they're not like a thing anymore.
oh, we have them here. I will take you. There's a place in, I think it's Ann Arbor, which is not like super close to Detroit, but it's not that far. There's a place called Pinball Pete's. It's a huge arcade.
Can we go? Can
Yeah.
like we always say we're gonna do stuff, but like
I know,
seriously,
but it's hard to, you know what? There
we want to.
this is the hard part. I need to find the new arcades and things around because so many things that I knew like in Detroit, they're closed down after the
Mm.
pandemic or just recently they've shut down. There used to be a place in Detroit called Ready Player One, and it was an arcade bar. And one
Oh,
time I
that's cool.
randomly saw Dave Coulier chilling out there from
Well,
Full
that's
House, but
very
he's from
random.
Detroit. Anyway,
Oh.
we're like really I'm just like,
No, we're sidetracking, but like it's interesting to me. I don't know. I love the
no,
arcade. I
I
love
feel
the
like
arcade.
I just feel
There's
like I'm
one
gonna
in
sidetrack.
Toronto.
What was that?
There's an arcade like that in Toronto, and they have a whole bunch of wrestling video games, and there's wrestling
Oh,
playing, and it's
hell
right
yeah.
near Danforth Music Hall.
Let's do it.
But yeah, arcades were great. Sheridan Mall, what's up? You guys know if you lived in Toronto, you know where Sheridan Mall is. Not a nice part of town, but it was my mall.
I also feel like I haven't gotten to catch up with you in a while, so now I just wanna, like, say random things to you. That's why I'm gonna sidetrack so much, but
I
anyway,
I told you I was gonna send you a voice memo and I totally forgot and got
I
side.
know.
I need to update you on my life, girl.
Please
Okay.
do.
Circling
Alright,
back
but
to the movie.
Regina is locked in, okay? Like,
Mhm.
you can only see the light of the game just flashing on her eyes, and she is locked into this game. Mel, who is the owner of the theater, who's also trying to, like, scam people to buy these really shitty, like, alien antenna headbands for $9.50 in
In
1984.
1984?
Now that would be too much money for that piece of shit, but this is 1984, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And he is like, Regina, they call her Reggie and Regina throughout this movie, but
Mhm.
he's like, "I need you to do your job, okay? Uh, you have to go walk the house. Grab the flashlight, go walk the house." And she's recording her new high score in 3rd place of this game, okay? And then she notices that someone with the initials DMK is in 6th place. So we see that all of the initials on the scoreboard are hers except this DMK, and she is
Mhm.
pissed.
I love that she's so upset about it. Like she's fired the fuck up. She's like,
Yeah.
"No, this is my game."
Yeah. She does grab the flashlight, and as she's leaving, Mel yells to her to stay away from the projection booth and from Dupree. And then he mutters to himself, "I'm going to fire that guy one day. He's been doing to me what he's been doing to her in that booth." What? Spoiler
Wait.
alert.
Oh,
He's fucking them.
uh,
One
uh,
one literally and one figuratively, and I'll let you guess which one is which.
he's talking about Larry, right?
Larry, yeah, it's Larry Dupree.
Larry who runs the
Yeah.
projection
So
booth. Mhm.
in the booth, we meet Larry Dupree. He's on the
Mhm.
phone. He's trying to rent out this mint condition film of It Came from Outer Space in 3D, okay,
Mhm.
to some guy clearly behind Mel's back. And he's going to have to stay in the theater overnight because this person has to bring it back to him at 6 a.m. And
Right.
they're
And it makes
negotiating.
sense. It makes sense that he's renting out It Came from Outer Space.
Yeah, that's a
Talk
perfect
about
crutch for this
hustling,
movie.
right? Like,
Yeah,
talk
I
about
was gonna
hustling.
say, I love
Yeah.
the hustle.
Yeah.
So he has to stay overnight. They're negotiating for $110, which is a lot.
Uh-huh.
But imagine, like, no one's paying that much for a movie now. But that back then it was much more difficult to come across, right?
Yeah.
So Reggie gets into the booth that Mel just told her to stay away from.
Mhm.
And Larry tells her, I'm going to go back and forth between Reggie and Regina. I think he calls
Fine.
her Reggie, and that's why I wrote that there.
Mhm.
But he's like, look, I'm going to let you leave. I'll let you in the back door. Then I'm going to leave. And then you let me in the back door. And then Mel thinks everyone is gone. So they're going to sneakily stay in the theater overnight.
Right. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. He
Regina's
also
asking, oh, go
he
ahead.
offers her $15 to, like, stay, and I was
Yeah.
like, "What?" I was
Yeah.
like,
She
"Is this?"
even says, like, well, if you pay me $15 and then what? We make it. He said, what, how does she say it? If I make it with you, which I've never heard
Yeah.
it put that way before.
Me neither, me neither, me
But
neither.
this movie is PG-13. So,
Yeah.
if they hook up and you give me $15, what does that make me? And then he's like, you're way more than $15. Uh-huh. And I was like, okay.
Like, on the one hand, like, if they're boyfriend and girlfriend and it's like, whatever. Like, I don't know.
She, yeah.
I feel like if it seemed more like playful and like kind of like, what are you talking about, you fucking idiot? Then it
Yeah.
would be like, oh, he's disrespecting her. I didn't get that
Yeah.
vibe.
It
You know,
didn't
I
feel
just
like
thought
he was
he's a dude.
disrespecting.
No, he's just a dude.
Yeah. They're
He's
not
not,
dating.
listen,
We'll find
he
out they're not dating.
he's not Hector. All right. He ain't no fucking Hector. I'll tell you
He's
that.
no Hector. Yeah,
Mm-mm.
this is just like her little boy toy, okay? Her little situationship, basically.
Yeah, situationship. Oh God, I hate that fucking word. Okay.
I know, I know. And then she wants to see the comet. She wants to see the comet that night. Everyone's excited to see the comet. Everyone's
Mhm,
on the street like it's Times Square in New York City for New Year's Eve.
mhm, mhm.
And he's like, look, you can just watch it on the TV. It's fine. Now we're going to cut to Regina's house where her sister Samantha is watching TV.
Let me hop in right now because this man
Please.
on the TV has pronounced Newfoundland wrong twice. It's not Newfoundland, okay? It's
Wait,
Newfoundland.
I was about to guess.
Go ahead.
Newfoundland? Newfoundland?
Newfoundland.
No,
It's just one long word, Newfoundland. Like you just say it
Newfoundland.
Newfoundland. Not like I notice a lot of people will say Newfoundland.
Newfoundland, yeah.
It's almost like how I say Toronto. Like you just kind of let it roll off your tongue. It's
Like, you
Newfoundland.
don't enunciate the second T.
You do not enunciate it. No, no, no.
So
And I
is
thought it
it
was funny he mispronounced it twice. I thought that was a good gag.
yeah, is it Newfoundland or Newfoundland?
Newfoundland. Oh my
Newfoundland.
god, Newfoundland. That's how I say it. Okay, now I'm getting all fucked up. And now I'm getting all fucked
Okay.
up. But I will say the way he said it wrong twice.
You're Canadian, you are the authority on this matter.
And it
So
is a very nice place. I've been there. It's very nice there. It's
I've never
beautiful.
been. So Samantha is probably like 16 or 17, I'm guessing. She's close in age to Regina, but this is her
Yeah,
younger sister.
because Regina's 18.
Yes. Both of their hair is peak 80s. I'm talking like feathered to the max, okay? It is so teased, it's so big.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And the man on the news report is saying that the first Earthlings to see the effects of this comet will be in Newfoundland.
Mm-hmm.
But oddly, all telecommunications seem to be out in that part of the world. Okay. A little foreshadowing there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Regina is calling home. Samantha's annoyed and she's complaining about Doris when she answers the phone. Doris is their
Yo,
stepmom.
Doris. Doris is wild. This is insane what happens here. Fucking
Uh,
crazy.
I kind of
Crazy.
wish Doris was in more of the movie because she is a wild ass character.
Dude, like 1 to 100. Like she just goes 0 to 100 so fast.
Yeah. So Regina wants Samantha to cover for her so she can stay the night with Larry. Larry! I don't know why I want to say it that way, but I do.
Did we also mention that Samantha is played by Kelly Maroney?
Not yet, but she
She
is.
is. And Doris is played by Sharon Farrell.
Yes. Kelly Maroney and I believe Catherine Mary Stewart are from Chopping Mall, right? They both were in
Yeah.
Chopping Mall. Hell
Yes.
yeah.
Shopping mall. We got to cover that one day. That's a good one.
Yes. Yes. That was actually a recent suggestion I was going to make. I don't know. Anyway,
Ooh, I saw
my
it in
mind is all over
theaters.
the place. I think the caffeine is hitting right now, everyone.
I am sipping on a Zevia energy drink and I do not drink energy drinks. So I am buzzing. Okay.
It's going to
Anyways.
be a little weird. We're going to get a little crazy in this episode. Okay.
Strap
So
in.
Strap in and strap on.
Thank you. I was waiting for you to say it.
Sorry. I know I need to remember to say it on the top of every episode. But Samantha goes to tell Doris, who is busy flirting with a man or boy that looks significantly younger than her. I hope a man. And she is so annoyed to be interrupted. Okay. Doris gets on the phone and she says she wants Regina home right after work. You can watch the Comet from home. Okay. They're having a big party outside in the neighborhood. And Regina's like, I'm 18. I can do what I want. Also, I'm thinking, yeah, you're 18 years old. Why do you have to ask her at all? But I think I
Yeah, well,
also just didn't grow up in that kind of dynamic.
I didn't either. I didn't know. I didn't at all. But I thought what she said here was terrible. Like she was just like, "Listen, if it, this is," I'm paraphrasing, but it was like, "Listen, if it were up to me, I don't give a fuck what you do or what happens to you, but your father seems to care." So, like, she basically is just saying, "I don't give a shit about either of you."
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's
It's
gross.
wild.
It's real
She
gross. Yeah.
says, I wrote it here. She said, if your father can make it home without someone blowing his brains out, he's going to hold me responsible for any kind of trouble you two get into. Like, what the fuck? We're going to find out their father is away in the military in Honduras, I think
Mm-hmm.
Regina eventually says.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
But
they're stuck with Doris right now.
I'm guessing the girls, well, especially Samantha, because she's probably a minor still, but I'm guessing Regina has to follow the rules because she still lives in their house, is what I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Anywho, Doris is a bitch. So she hands the phone back to Samantha and she's basically telling, like, Samantha, tell your sister this. But Regina can obviously hear her. She says that crazy ass line. And Regina can, of course, hear this. They end up hanging up. Doris asks Samantha if she's going to join the party. This part is wild. This is when I went, okay, I'm in. Like, let's go.
Oh. Oh yeah.
Samantha's like, join the party for what? So I can watch Chuck from across the street stick his hands down your pants. And then Doris is like, Chuck is a nice man, or whatever she says. And then Samantha says, you were born with an asshole, Doris. You don't need Chuck. Got her.
Love it.
But then Doris slaps the shit out of Samantha.
Okay, but then Samantha goes and pops her, and then okay, Doris, it goes from slap, then Doris straight up cocks her fist back and punches Sam in the mouth and sends her tumbling into a chair.
Yeah. Like
What?
grabs her by her sweater and
Yo,
just fucking decks her.
what?
Like, this is crazy. And obviously that's child abuse, but the way
Yes.
they do it is like almost comical.
Funny.
Just the
Yeah.
slap, it catches you off guard. You're like, what the fuck is going
Yeah.
on?
It's wild. Yeah.
So now we're going to cut to the party where Doris is running over to Chuck. She like pushes another woman out of the way from talking to him. He kisses her on the forehead. So this is also not a secret relationship. They're just like with all their neighbors, like very open about this.
Just having an affair.
Yep. And she's like, I'll never marry another man with kids. And Chuck's like, oh, like, okay. Why did you do that in the first place then? If that's not
Right.
what you wanted, you know?
Yeah.
The news report
Money.
is saying how in 1910, Halley's Comet returned and everyone thought they were going to die then. Like, it's going to be fine, everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Suddenly, there's a big flash and everyone looks toward the sky and everyone's like, oh my gosh. It's flashing and thundering like it's a storm, but we can only see the light hitting their faces. We don't see what they're actually seeing.
Mm-hmm.
Now we cut back to the theater where Regina and Larry are making it. I don't like that.
I
I
don't
don't
like
like
it
that
either. Like
phrase.
let's just say hooking up. Okay.
Yeah,
Can we?
yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay.
She starts telling Larry how she's always afraid someone's going to see them. I don't really know why. I guess just because she doesn't want to be caught in general, but
Maybe she doesn't
uh,
want to be seen with Larry. Like, I don't
maybe, I
know.
don't know. Larry seemed okay. We're not going to know him very long. Little spoiler there, but
He
uh
seems fine.
yeah, he seems all right.
Like, I don't think you're gonna settle down with this guy. I mean, I'll say that. Like, he's here for a short time, not a long
You know
time. Do you know what I
what?
mean?
He's a hustler though. He might be, you
Yeah,
know
but
that he's going to always have you. He's always going to lock shit down because he will hustle.
okay. That's a good point. That's true. He's not very tall though. So
Oh my god. But Regina is more concerned about, I don't want anyone to find us and he's like, there are no windows, they can't see through walls. And she says, Superman can see through walls, which I was like, girl, what? But I think it just plays into her like little nerdy, like arcade loving
I like it because
personality.
I like that. I actually wrote in my notes that I like that she's kind of like a little bit nerdy, and even
Yeah.
later she talks about like, maybe it's here. She's because he says like he can't see through steel, and she's like, "It's actually lead, you nerd." And I was like,
Yeah.
"Yes, girl, you're the nerd, but I love it."
I know, and that's what I was thinking too. I'm like, "Actually, you're the nerd," but it's not in a derogatory sense,
No, it's
but
good. It's like, school him on
yeah.
his shit. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, but it was a cute little way for them to drop on us that this room is made out of steel. That's gonna
Mhm,
be the
mhm.
important part.
Exactly. Yes, yes, yes.
And back at the party, the comet storm is continuing and the sky is looking red now. Doris is looking like she's in pain. She starts to hold her head like she has a headache. And then all of a sudden, we cut to sunrise.
Mhm.
The sky is red. There are
Red,
clothes
red,
scattered. Yeah,
red, like, almost like an ombre. It's, like, very eerie, and it's beautiful. Like
like a deep,
orange.
like orangish red. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, the streets are
Like,
empty.
what's the color I'm thinking of? Burnt sienna.
Oh my god.
When I was in TNA,
Sienna.
when I was Sienna
Hey.
in TNA,
Yeah.
somebody made a meme of me where it was just two of the same picture of me next to each other, and it was like sienna, burnt sienna, and they just changed my skin to be that color.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay.
Anyway,
It's a really cool visual. It's a really cool visual. The streets are empty. You know, they shot this when they shot all this, they didn't close down the streets for this. They shot them from very high up, like aerial shots, and they just did it in a way like smoke and mirrors so that you couldn't see that the streets weren't actually empty. That is
yeah.
bananas. That is like straight up movie magic to me.
And there were also scenes I read that they shot specifically on Christmas morning because that way the streets were just already empty.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, that's so clever.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
felt
I think
bad. I
that's
was like,
really
oh,
cool.
they didn't get to spend Christmas with their families. But you know what? They're making a movie. They can go hang out with them later.
Oh
So,
yeah, no, for sure. There's also a random car in the middle of a street, and it's like the lights are on, and it's playing "It Came Upon a Midnight Clear," and it's
yeah,
just
cars
very
are
eerie.
abandoned.
Yeah, the
It
cars
is
are
very eerie.
abandoned. It's eerie, yeah.
We see that the day is starting. Like anything that was on on a timer, for example, sprinklers start going off, right?
Mhm, mhm,
There's
mhm,
a creepy clown animatronic still moving. That I tried to do a random deep dive into because as soon as I saw this clown, I went, that looks exactly like the clown from Pee-wee's Big Adventure. I clocked that shit. And I went, you know what? I want to look up a picture of what the one from Pee-wee's Big Adventure looks like
mhm,
just to see if I'm remembering correctly. And I was like, oh, that might actually be the same clown. It has the exact same face. It's just in a different outfit. So I started looking into it and I can't find any like official confirmation that it is.
mhm.
However, it looks exactly the same, different outfit. These two movies were filmed a year apart, both around LA. So what are the odds?
Mhm. Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
love
No, no,
Pee-wee's Big
no.
Adventure, so I had to look into it.
Oh, I love it too. I love it too.
But now we see Regina waking up in the booth to
Oh,
Larry
do we
yelling.
also say that, like, people are now just burnt orange dust? Like,
We
the
just
the
see
clo
dust. We just see dust all
and
around.
it's yeah, and it's like and the dust there are piles of dust in the clothing. So you'll notice that as we're panning around, you're gonna see the streets are empty, there's clothing kinda scattered, but in the clothing are, like, piles of burnt orange dust.
So Larry is pissed because this guy never came back to give him the film. So now he's gonna go find this guy on his bike, on his motorcycle. And Regina's like, I don't get an egg McMuffin or anything. Like, damn, at least get her breakfast.
Get her a coffee, man.
He doesn't even give her the $15 because he didn't get his money yet.
Mhm.
Wait, I'm like, you let this guy borrow your film and you didn't get paid first? The fuck?
Yeah, it's
Anyway,
stupid. At least get a deposit.
yeah. So Larry leaves and Regina is still thinking about DMK and who DMK is. That's what she's concerned about.
I get it though. When I get obsessed about something, like, yo, that shit is not leaving my brain.
Oh, when you
Especially if
find
it's
a
something
game,
like, or it's just something that like is like you just need to get it done. You're like, no, I'm gonna beat them. I'm gonna, you just obsess a little bit.
that too.
Hmm.
As we see Larry leaving, there's a poster on the door for the 1932 movie Red Dust, starring
Love that.
Clark Gable and Jean Harlow. Okay, can I please read the description of this movie to you?
I would love that.
Because I just happened to glance at it and I was like, I'm sorry, what? All right. When earthy prostitute, their words, not mine, Van Teen, played by Jean Harlow, arrives at Dennis Carson's rubber plantation, that's Clark Gable, in Indochina, which I had to look up what the fuck that even means because I've never even heard that word before. But from what I can tell, it's a very outdated term for a lot of the countries in Southeast Asia. She
Mm.
initiates a steamy affair with the rugged foreman, but is sent packing when the passion cools.
Oh.
Soon, Dennis is joined by new employee Gary, and his classy but high strung wife, Barbara, who falls into Dennis's arms while her husband is away. When Vantine returns, Dennis must decide between the refined adulteress and the tramp with the heart of gold.
Yo, that is the craziest love triangle I've ever heard in my fucking life. Strap me in, bitch. I am ready. That is like, I am a love triangle. Like, that is like the Vampire Diaries, but with Clark Gable.
Like, I kind of want to watch it now.
It just sounds fucked. I'm in. It
I
sounds like a
also had to
lot of
look up,
drama.
yeah, I also had to look up what earthy meant as an adjective, and it's basically like straightforward, coarse, vulgar. Like, I'm picturing like her humor is probably like a little crass for a lady of the 1930s, you know?
Yeah.
Uninhibited, like that.
Yeah.
Anywho, back to the movie. Larry's trying to open the door. He hears someone on the other side and
Mhm.
he thinks it's the guy with the film. Like, okay, finally, you came. He opens the door and gets smashed over the head immediately with a wrench by some guy who, at the time I wrote, looks like a ghoul of some sort.
Yeah, it looks like a zombie.
Yes, which they do
Mhm.
end up calling these creatures zombies in this movie.
They're just, it's a different type of zombie. Like they're kind of decaying and turning into
Yeah.
dust.
I feel like
As
every movie has a different type of zombie. I don't think they're ever the same, right?
No, for sure. This almost gives me like, I don't want to say Night of the Creeps because it's not Night of the Creeps, but when I saw this, I watched Night of the Creeps right afterwards, and there's just like a vibe. If you like this, you'd like Night of the Creeps.
Similarities. A lot of
Yeah.
people compare this movie to 28 Days Later,
Yep. Yeah,
but
I've
I'm
heard that
also
too.
aware I just learned actually that the 28 Days Later fans that are adamant that 28 Days Later and the franchise is not a zombie movie are like cutthroat. I'm like, don't come for us.
Isn't that like semantics? Like who?
I think so. That's how I
And
feel.
it is a zombie movie. 28 Days Later is a
You know
zombie movie,
what?
and that car with the music, it's a homage. There's a homage to 28 Days Later in
Yes.
it.
I have. No, it's the other way around, I think.
Yeah, like it's a homage to Night of the Comet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So guess what, 28 Days Later franchise fans? We're saying it is a zombie film. What the fuck are you going to do about it?
Yeah, what are you gonna do? Nothing. So
I'm like, don't come for
stupid.
us. Also,
I know. I'm like, actually, don't worry, guys. Listen to the podcast. We'll call it whatever you want.
so where the fuck was I? Sorry. Blah, 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 blah. Okay.
So Larry's dead. That's where we're at.
Yes. I almost don't want to cut that out, but I already went like this.
No, we should not cut it out. Keep it in.
All right, fuck it. Don't
Larry's
cut it out. I don't care. I'm like
Larry
ready to
is
clap.
Larry's dead, guys. Okay. And poor Regina has no idea. She's too obsessed with the video game to know that Larry's just had his head clocked in and deadzo. Okay. By the way, this guy takes Larry's body away too. Okay.
Yes, and can we describe this guy too? His
Sure.
eyes look crazy. He has
Mhm.
prosthetics on his face that make him look like, well, at the time, I wasn't looking into anything about the movie. I was just typing my thoughts. I'm
Yeah.
like, he kind of looks like he could be a zombie, but he reminded me of, I thought maybe there was something else too, because he reminded me of when the vampires start to change in Vampire in Brooklyn, how they have those like high
Oh, yeah.
cheekbones, you know?
Yeah. I get you. Yeah. His face looks different.
Yeah, and even though the scene where he kills Larry is short, it really sat with me for a second because Larry is like on the ground twitching after getting hit in the head. I don't like that shit. Ugh.
No, and it's like, imagine opening the door and just getting your head clocked in with a
Yeah.
fucking wrench, dude. That's not fun.
But you're right. Reggie is like, you know what? I need to beat DMK. Whoever
Yeah.
DMK is.
Priorities. Hello.
Yeah. The only thing that bothers me about this scene is that they show her putting her initials into sixth place, like instead of DMK, but seventh place also shows her initials. So, like, wouldn't it just move his name down one in the high score? Like, she wouldn't
Well,
just be
not it,
replacing him.
but not if the seventh is still higher than his score, right? Like maybe she just completely wiped him completely off the
Maybe
board.
she kept playing and just moved him off
Yeah.
the board completely.
Yeah, that's
That's
what
very
I'm
possible. You
thinking.
know what? I like that.
Let's go with it. Let's
Yeah,
go with it.
we're gonna do it.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I also noted this is where I noticed that this was Christmas time. This is when I first noticed the Christmas tree in the lobby. I'm like, oh, this could have been a Christmas movie.
Yeah, we could have done it for Christmas. I didn't even think of that. It's like a holiday film.
Too late. Here we are. So now Regina's going outside. She puts a trash bin to prop the door open. This
Mhm.
trash bin is round, so it does eventually slide and she's locked out.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
she notices all these clothes and the smog. She just thinks it's smog. I mean, it's
And
LA.
she even when she picks the clothes up, she's like, "What the fuck is all this mess?" Like she's kind of like And she's a little frustrated. And I love it too because this is very real. Like she gets locked out. She's not really paying attention to the fact that the streets are empty. It's real weird. No. What you're focused on in that moment is I need to get back inside this building. I don't really care what the hell's going on. I
Right.
just know that my mission right now is to get back inside this theater. So she's not really paying attention. She's more irritated that
Yeah, and
like there's
also
clothes everywhere.
she's in the middle of LA. Weirder shit has probably happened.
A
She's not gonna
hundred
think
percent.
she doesn't think all of humanity just turned into red dust.
No, no, no. Exactly, exactly. So she goes around back, right? And she goes to the back door, and this is the same door that Larry had stepped out of.
Mhm.
And that door is also locked. What she notices are Larry's keys on the ground and the bloody wrench. She picks up the wrench. Girl, don't do that. Ew. And she does immediately goes, ew, this is gross. And she throws it down. We see Larry's motorcycle at the back of the alley. And she's like, okay, well, she starts approaching it. And then she stops because she hears something. She's kind of like waiting. And there's like a bit of tension, right? It's a little bit of buildup. She's kind of looking around. And I don't know, when it's daylight and bad shit's going down, it always like affects me differently. Like I'm always like a little more freaked out. So she starts moving towards these like boxes in the alley. And then as she gets closer and closer, all of a sudden, bro with the wrench jumps out from behind the boxes and obviously starts to approach her. One thing I love about Regina, like she is straight up like, bro, I don't want to hurt you, but I have been trained to protect myself. Do you understand what that means? Like she
Yeah.
is just like, listen, dude, like whatever. He still comes at her. She palm strikes him.
Yes.
Okay. She like just straight up starts fighting with him. They kind of like struggle. She gets to the bike. He comes up from behind and grabs her in a waist lock and drags her back. And they are still like fighting a little bit, but she ends up fighting him off because she's a badass. She
Yeah.
gets on the bike and she beelines it out of there. And we find out she is heading home.
Yeah, we also find out that these zombies talk because he tells her,
Yeah.
"Come here."
Yeah, and it goes hand in hand with the fact that they're not technically zombies. They're more so like they're disintegrating human beings.
Yeah. To me, that's a zombie. Like you have some type
Yeah,
of virus infection and you're decaying. Like I guess
but they don't
yeah,
eat
all
brains. They're not eating brains. They're not
yeah.
eating people, right? Or are they eating people? No, because they
You know
didn't eat
what?
that one girl. They ripped her apart. That's exactly what Hector said. He
It's
said,
also interesting because some places I saw the description of this movie say that they were cannibals, but they don't show that ever in this movie.
not one time. They
So
don't show
maybe
it.
that was an intention that never happened, but they
Yeah,
don't show it. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head.
yeah.
Which zombie movie did they not eat brains yet? It was Night of the Living Dead, right?
They were eating all kinds of stuff, but I don't know if it was like
They were
brains
eating random stuff, but
specifically.
it wasn't just brains until Return of the Living Dead that I happen to be
Yeah.
wearing right now.
Yay, Tarman. But yeah, so
Anyway,
the streets are totally empty. I liked watching her drive through the streets on her bike. I just didn't like the shots where the camera was like on her face as she was cruising through. I didn't find them as like effective as the ones of just her driving through the streets where you can actually see the bike.
so I
Um,
read that she did almost all of her own stunts. Catherine Mary Stewart did, except for the motorcycle ones. So the far out shots, the panned out shots of the motorcycle was a stunt person, whereas the close up ones of her on the bike was when they can actually show her on the bike.
okay,
And it
that
was
makes
like on
sense.
a flatbed or something.
You can tell for sure. It makes sense. She does end up stopping at that stoplight next to the car. Now the car is playing Jingle Bells. Remember, it's December 14th, so we're kind of getting close to Christmas, right? The light is still red, and it's funny. It's like she realizes after, like, I don't have to fucking wait at this light.
Yeah. I have a
So
fun
she,
fact about that car, but it's in the end of my notes, so I'll wait.
ooh, okay. Do you have what kind of car it is? Because I think I wrote it down
I
somewhere
do.
too. You do? Okay, cool. I also have the motorcycle written down somewhere. What kind of motorcycle it
Me
is?
too.
You do? Did I have it?
Yeah.
Where is it in my notes? Do I not have it right next
Everything's
to
at
the
the end for
motorcycle?
me.
I had it inside the notes, but I usually highlight them red when I have something interesting to say. And guess what she didn't do? She didn't highlight anything. So that's great. I just love
It's
that.
because
Anywho's,
everything you have to say is interesting.
thank you, AK. I appreciate that.
But yeah, she finally gets home. Regina does, and to her and
Mhm.
my surprise, Samantha is alive. And she pops out like, "What? Like, oh, why did I scare you? What's going on?"
Yeah.
She does tell Regina Doris knocked her tooth loose last night, which is crazy.
Dude, I think that's like one of the craziest things was like one that she punched her, but she punched her so hard that her teeth got loose. Can I also say the motorcycle is a 1971 Triumph Bonneville T120?
None of that means anything to me, but there you have it.
No idea. I know what a Bonneville is. Didn't know that. Anyways, it doesn't matter. That's
I
what
don't
kind of
even know
car
what
it
that
is.
is, but I'm assuming
No,
it's a motorcycle.
it's a motorcycle, and that
All
is
right.
what he drives.
So Samantha tells Regina, I just wrote she, so I'm like, wait, who am I talking about again? Samantha
Yes.
tells Regina that she ran away last night, but she didn't have anywhere to go, so she slept in the shed, which is probably made out of steel. She didn't say
Yes.
that part. I'm saying that part.
Yep. Yep.
And Regina's trying to tell her everyone is gone. And of course, Samantha's like, what are you talking about? She does notice that her dog Muffy's collar is on the ground just
Hmm.
by itself. That's kind of weird. And so Regina takes Samantha outside to show her that all that's left is this red dust in people's clothes. And Samantha just slowly walks backwards back into the house. She's like, okay, I'm going to go make my cereal because you're crazy.
Okay. So it's interesting that you say that okay, from this scene, this is what I got from the scene, okay?
Mhm.
Yes, I know that Sam is like, you know, not believing it, but I also think there is a side of her here when she closes those doors and she's looking around, it's all denial. Because
Okay.
she immediately backs into the house, goes into the kitchen, starts making cereal, and when Regina tries to talk to her, even Sam says like, "You're starting to scare me." I think it's that thing where like shit is really bad, but your brain is trying so hard to protect you from freaking
Yeah.
out that you're just like, "Nope, I don't see this. This is not what's
It
actually
definitely could be
happening."
that. It could be a little bit of both too, that she could just think her older sister is fucking with her because I'm sure they
Mhm.
do that a lot.
Mhm. Mhm.
But then they hear someone on the radio talking. And they're like, okay, this guy's hosting this radio show. Let's go see what the hell's happening. So they get in the car and they go to the radio station.
Mhm.
Logical next step, in my opinion.
For sure. Yep. Yep. Yep.
So they get into this radio station. They're walking around. They're trying to find the DJ. And we see that a man is hiding behind a wall with a gun. And then the girls notice there's no DJ. It's just a recording, a pre recorded tape that keeps playing over and
Mhm.
over.
Mhm.
Now this man comes out and tells them, step into the light. This is Hector.
Hector. We love Hector.
And he wants to see if he wants to make sure that they're not one of those creatures.
Mhm.
And then here he does call them freaked out zombies. So they're calling them zombies throughout this movie.
Mhm.
He tells them that he was heading to a gas station with a girl he picked up and he saw one of those things eating a cat. So there, I guess they do eat things, not people that we'll see in this movie, but one was eating a cat.
Okay, the best is that like Sam, one thing I love about these characters, and one thing I love specifically about Sam is he says something about eating the cat, and she's like, all she's focused on is like, well, was the cat alive or dead? And
Yeah.
he's like, I don't know. I think it was dead. And she's like, oh, because like eating a live cat, that's gross.
Yeah.
One thing I loved about her, actually, both of them, I could see myself in Regina and Sam. The way that they just like kind of
They're
blurt
kind of,
out what
they're like unserious in a way about a lot
y-
of it.
yeah, they're unserious, but at the same time are serious. And
Yeah.
like I like that they both just know who they are and they say what they're thinking and they say how they feel and they're kind of
Yes.
direct. And that's what I loved a lot about these characters.
Yeah. They're very
And
much, uh, they're teenagers, right? And they're still their personalities and
they're
that
strong
they're
willed.
yes, and there's so much fun dialogue in this movie. We're not gonna
Yeah.
quote everything that they say, but
Hmm.
you get so much of their personality and banter and rapport just by the dialogue that they have.
Hmm. Yeah.
So Hector tells them that girl he was with took off running. She freaked out. He found her 20 minutes later, and it looked like those zombies had torn her apart.
Mhm. And then
Now,
Regina pieces together, "Oh, fuck, my boyfriend's probably dead." Larry
yeah.
boyfriend, not boyfriend, whatever, situationship, probably dead, and she kinda takes off.
Yeah, she runs into the bathroom. She's very upset. And
Mhm.
Hector tries to follow her to see if she's okay. And she really doesn't want to hear it. And
Mhm.
she asks how he survived. Like, where did you spend the night? And he says he spent the night in the back of the truck with the girl he picked up. And she's like, spare me the details. But she realizes steel must be the answer, which I was like, wait, your truck, like, there's windows, like, there's a bed to the truck. But
Yes.
we'll
Yes,
find out. It's a
yes.
semi.
It's a semi. I know when he was saying truck, I was thinking like a truck, like a pickup truck,
Yeah.
but he drives like a transport truck. And one thing I really liked about the scene too is like you really get to see how Regina takes on and kind of pressures herself into being this like I need to figure this out. I need to protect my sister. I need, and I think it's great. Not everybody thinks the way she does. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like she is just like, I'm gonna handle this, and she's protective in a way like she doesn't know Hector, but like right
Mhm.
off the hop, you can definitely feel that there's some kind of just like an attraction there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, and I thought it was telling that Hector went to check on her, even though I sort of feel like it should have been Sam checking on her. I think
Yeah.
that conversation had to happen though,
Right.
obviously, where he tells her that. And also we just get to find out more about her. I mean, obviously the mother's not in the picture. She's got to protect her from Doris. I just
Mhm.
love when characters are like layered and they're not so simple and they're not just like, there for the plot.
I completely agree. And
Yeah.
Regina and Samantha have a very layered relationship that we will come to find out too.
For sure. Yeah.
So in the meantime, Samantha's just fucking around with the radio. Okay, she's like playing music, she's talking to the radio, talking to whoever may be out there, I guess. But she's not doing it in a way that where she's calling for help. She's just like, "What's up, everyone?" I think she might say, doesn't she say the working title for this movie? And this time, like, "What's up, teenage mutant
I
zombie?"
have it.
Whatever. I forget what she said. I have it once again in the end of my notes.
Yeah, I got it. I'm gonna pull it right here. It's a quote. She says, "Beep boop."
She also grabs a record that I think is called Valley Girl, which is
Valley
definitely a play
Girl.
on their personalities in this movie.
Yes, yes. Teenage Mutant Horror Comet Zombies.
Yes. I saw a couple different sources saying it slightly differently,
Mm.
like with the comet in there, with the horror in there or not. But either way, something along so some play on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she's just playing around. Regina, on the other hand, is making fun of Hector's gun. She's saying, "We're gonna need more power for the zombies, basically. Like your little
Oh,
gun ain't
hell
gonna do
yeah.
shit."
Which means that she knows how to shoot a gun.
She says that her dad used to take her to the Armed Forces Reserve Center in LA for target practice, so she knows her stuff and she wants to get to these guns.
Mm-hmm.
Samantha comes to tell them they got a call, so they all run back to the phone. But by the time Hector gets there, Hector and Regina, the line is dead. But whoever was on the line says that they're in the desert, they're part of some type of research group. And now we're seeing outside of this research group. It's like a restricted area in the desert, it's fenced off. And all these scientist looking people, I'm just going to call them the scientists.
Okay, I have a couple names, just the important ones.
Yeah, fuck
That's
the rest
it.
of
The
them. I'm
rest
just
of
kidding.
them are NPCs. But the first one, Dr. Carter, is like the head scientist. Okay. And the the one chick who we will come to find out later on is actually an ally and not a raging fucking bitch. I thought
That
she
was
was
such a huge twist for
dude.
me.
What a twist. Yes. So
My
because
notes are
originally in my notes I
everywhere.
put this bitch. Okay. But it turns out Audrey White is her real name in the movie. She's played by Mary Warnov. Warn
Warnov.
Warnov.
Yep.
Uh she ends up being a good person. But those are the two that I feel like are important that we have their names. There's another one, but he's not as important to the
Yeah.
plot.
I
Anyway.
have them written down somewhere as well. Um, I'm like somewhere. I'm looking at my notes right now. They're written down somewhere. But we see that these scientists are listening to their conversation real time. So they like have it tapped or something. Or they
Well,
I guess
it's
like,
a radio broadcast, so they're just listening to the radio
oh, they're on the
broadcast.
radio, duh.
Yeah, and they're in their
Oh my
underground
gosh.
bunker.
Because she's like, the line's dead. Samantha's like, the line's dead. And I'm like, oh no, they're still listening. That makes
Yeah.
sense. At the time, I
Yeah.
think when I'm making my notes, I just didn't know what was happening. So I'm like, oh,
No,
they're
yeah.
observing these people. Got it. They're
Uh
listening to the conversation.
they're
And
listening to the
Audrey,
conversation. Sorry, go ahead.
no, you go ahead. No, you.
No, you, no, you. No, you go.
Okay. So the scientists are debating on whether or not they want to save them and bring them back to the research center. At least that's what I wrote in my notes, that they want to save them. Okay.
Okay, yes, this is what what is his fucking name? Dr. Carter is saying, like, well, we should bring them back here and blah, blah, blah. And Audrey White is like, no, I don't think that's a good idea. Like they could have been exposed, blah, 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 blah. And she comes across really like kind of heartless
Oh, yeah.
at
I wrote,
first.
Audrey, you are not being a girl's girl right now. Like, why
Yeah,
don't you want to save them?
yeah, I felt the same way exactly. And there's like a little bit of debate between all of them. And Dr. Carter's like, no, we're gonna go get them. You're just gonna have to like strap in because we're going. We
Yeah.
also find out that we find out for sure that the zombies are people that were affected by the comet and eventually they're gonna turn to dust too. They just didn't turn to dust immediately.
Right. Like they were affected. They were what's the word I'm looking for? Exposed to it a little bit, not as much as the people that were outside, like in it.
Yeah, exactly. And we're going to find out over time here that the more that time passes, the more people are disintegrating. And is it Aubrey or Audrey? Audrey.
Audrey.
Audrey specifically is going to make notes later saying that her memory is going to the point that she doesn't even know how to spell memory.
Yeah.
So, anyways.
So Samantha is telling Regina and Hector that this research group told her to be careful on the street. And then exactly what you just said, actually. So then we cut to Samantha drinking and driving because
Dude,
who
I was
cares
so
anymore,
cut
right?
off by this. Dude, I was
Me
like,
too.
whoa. I was like, girl, don't do that.
And I was also like, how did you get that dress? She's in like this white dress now instead of her cheerleader outfit. That's
Yeah,
another thing that you can tell was inspiration for Buffy, like that visual right there. The
for
Valley
sure.
Girl cheerleader who's a badass and like,
Yeah.
shooting
Yeah.
guns eventually. So Samantha's drinking and driving. She gets pulled over by two cops on motorcycles. And I'm like, oh, there are more survivors. Okay, that's random. Why would you be worried about speeding at this point? But maybe
Yeah.
they just want to find another survivor. So she's waiting for them to come up to the window and she gets jump scared when they're fucking zombies, but way more progressed than what we've seen so far. Like they have
Mm-hmm.
crazy prosthetics on their face.
Mm-hmm.
They grab her. She wakes up.
It was a great jump scare and it reminded me of American Werewolf in London.
Yeah, okay, I could see that.
Mm-hmm.
And they're still at the radio station. So we see Regina is sleeping on the couch as well. Samantha gets up, goes to the bathroom. She starts taking her clothes off for literally no reason. I think
I
she's
thought
like
she was
washing.
having a I thought she was having like a little shower or something. I thought she was having like a little
I did too, but I didn't see a shower. Maybe that's what it was.
the
It looked like she was
sink.
washing her clothes in the sink.
I thought she was washing herself in the sink. I mean,
Oh,
I've done it.
maybe.
Like haven't you ever like had a little like when you're in a pinch
Oh
somewhere
yeah,
and
you gotta like do what
you
you
got to
gotta do
have
what
a
you gotta
quick
do.
you got to clean up a little bit. You don't have you might not
Maybe,
have the
but
luxury of a shower, you know?
yeah, maybe. But I was like, the scene was just to get her on her underwear. But okay,
Oh, oh, ew.
that's
Okay.
how I felt.
Sure, sure.
But another zombie cop comes in and grabs her, and he's like, "This is for your stepmom, you little punk," and pulls out a switchblade. I was like, "What the fuck?" Gotcha again. It's a nightmare.
Mhm.
And Regina consoles her. They're like, "Oh, you're okay. We're still in the radio station." And then Hector goes off in another room to do some crunches.
I
I
know, it's
wrote,
kinda hot.
"LOL."
I'm not gonna lie. Oh, shit. I just hit my knee. I'm not gonna lie. When she walked in watching him do the crunches, I was like, "I get it, girl. It's pretty hot." I'm not gonna lie.
When she walked in and saw him, I'm like, "Okay, they're." I can see they're like,
They
with
gonna
it was
do
it was
it? Are they
un
gonna do
It was are they gonna make it? It
it?
was unspoken, like, "Oh, you're seeing him do these crunches, which is totally gonna be attractive to you."
Ooh, I think it's
But they
hot.
they didn't show it, so I feel like it was subtly done and it was done well.
Yeah.
So Hector tells her that he has to I just love that he went to another room to start doing crunches. "You know what? I'm gonna go do some crunches, guys. I'll be right back."
I mean, I would. I wouldn't just do it in front of them either. It's a bit
I
weird.
guess, but I don't know. It just was funny to me. But he tells her that he has to go to San Diego tomorrow to try to find his mom and sister. And I love that Regina is just like, they're all gone, right?
Okay, so this is
Damn,
what this
girl.
this why but I kinda that's what kinda why I like her. I like that I like her. I like that she said
Yeah.
it, even though that's so fucking offside. Like, it's just like, yo,
Yeah.
you know, but I like but it's in line with her character. It is in line with
It
her
is.
character.
It's very in line with her character. I probably
Mhm.
would have said it a little more
Sure.
gently than
Me
that. Like,
too.
the chances aren't good of, maybe speaking
Yes.
a little more reason into it instead of being like, they're gone.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, but it's her age too, right?
Yeah.
And we find out here that Hector is pretty close with his family, and this whole scene is like them bonding. Like
Yeah.
we find out more about her dad, and Sam is there looking very fucking lonely, scared, and sad by herself. She's also itching her skin. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. She drops all the lore. They both drop the lore on each other, right? And I
Yeah.
also understand that Hector, he's like, I know the chances aren't high, but I want to be sure, which I also
I would
totally understand.
dude, I would this if my sister or my mom or
Yeah,
yeah, I would find a way.
for sure.
No, yeah.
And
Okay.
then Hector asks about, so what about this guy Larry that you were so upset about? And she's like, "Oh, we weren't going steady or anything." Imagine they were, and she's just like, "Oh, him? I forgot about him already."
Well, he's dead. I mean, honestly, like the
That's
whole
true,
world is
but
gone. Like at this point, who cares? You know what I mean?
I don't know why it's so funny to me. It's so funny because like everyone is dead, but the fact that you're asking what your relationship status is when we're in the apocalypse, like who cares anymore? But
I
also, I think that it's nice that he was trying to see where her head is at after, seeing her situationship get bludgeoned to death, or I
Yeah.
guess she didn't see that happen, but he doesn't know that.
Yeah, and I think Hector is a good guy. I think
I do
Hector's a good
too.
guy, and I also think that's the comedy of this movie is like,
Yeah,
right? Like it's silly, and at the same time, though, at the exact same time, no matter what the situation is and the world is falling apart, you have to have normalcy. People have to
true.
find normalcy in chaos because you won't survive otherwise. You'll just lose your fucking mind.
Yeah,
So in a way, it makes sense to me that like there's some normalcy
absolutely.
there,
I
right? Because
thought it
we're
was
still
funny, but I
people.
also loved it
I
because
love it. Yeah, I like Hector.
just because her boyfriend's dead doesn't mean she's emotionally available.
Right. I
You know,
liked Hector. I thought he was sweet.
just because
Uh,
you might be the last man on earth doesn't mean she's emotionally
oh
available.
my God, what if he
But
wasn't Hector? What if the last man on earth wasn't Hector and he was like he smelled like a foot? Like, can you imagine? What if the last guy on earth smelled bad and had bad teeth?
or just was a
8K.
piece of shit.
No, what if
Imagine.
he never flossed? Oh my God. What if he never flossed? What ew, what if he's one of those people that like doesn't understand that you have to like shower a
Scrape your
lot?
tongue. Oh.
Scrape your tongue. Yeah, what if he doesn't scrape his tongue? Ew. Oh my God. Okay. Anyways, we're
Well,
gonna
look, if
cut
it's
to
the
the
last person on earth and you want to be with this person, I feel like you would have no problem being like, "Look, this is what you need to do, and you're gonna
bro.
do it.
You know what we have to do for you, buddy? Okay, there's a couple of things, and don't worry, I'm an expert.
We're gonna go to
Uh,
CVS. We're gonna steal some tongue scrapers. We're not, it's not really stealing because everyone's dead.
so
But yeah,
we're going, dude. We are going to like a nurse practitioner's office and getting every single jar of Botox imaginable and keeping that shit on hand. Because if let me just say one thing about me, bitch, the sky could be falling, the world could be falling apart. Okay, I'm gonna look good. Like priority number, I'm
that
gonna
is
look
not
good.
where I thought you were going with this at all. Well, yeah, now you don't have to pay for it, so you can just do whatever the
Listen,
fuck you want.
I'm keeping my hair nice, my nails. I'm doing it all for me, bro. Because if I can at least feel good, it's gonna be fine. We're gonna
It's
find a
for that
solution.
normalcy. It's so you can
That's
still
the
take
normalcy.
selfies.
100%. I'm gonna be all over the gram. Okay. So we're gonna cut to the next morning. I love this scene, and I love even more that it was a little bit improvised. So we're gonna cut to Sam and Regina, and they are shooting up an old beater. Okay, they've got machine guns, and they are just shooting the shit out of this vehicle.
Okay, can I tell you what the gun is?
I would love to hear what the gun is.
Samantha is shooting this car with an Ingram. I might be saying that wrong. An Ingram Mac 10 submachine gun. Like this is a
Whoa.
fully automatic gun. Okay, it's just like brrr, just
I
with
want to shoot one of those. That would be so fun.
one trigger pull, and it's just that's scary to me.
Though it's terrifying. It's like lights out very quickly and terrifying. But also, it looks like it would be fun to shoot a car like that. So they're shooting these guns. Sam's gun keeps jamming. Okay, it jams like quite a few times, like over and over. And she looks at Regina because she's getting like kind of frustrated by this. And she says, and I quote, "Daddy would have gotten us Uzis." And that is a full improvised line because
It's
the stupid
Uzis.
oh Uzis, sorry. So the gimmick kept jamming, and and it was an improvised line, and it stayed
Yes.
in.
Yes, and it was the prop. They weren't using real guns from what I
Yeah,
understand. It was a
yeah,
prop, but it was actually constantly jamming and they were getting
jamming.
pissed.
Yeah, I think that's so fun, and
They were
it's such a
also
great line.
it was a great line. It's low budget. They're on a time crunch. They're trying to shoot while the streets are empty, so they can't just,
Yeah,
keep retaking.
yeah.
Then Samantha asked Regina, "So did you make it with him last night again? Did you hook up with him last night about Hector?"
Mhm, mhm.
And then Samantha, this is where she drops some lore where I'm like, "Oh, here we go. Here we go with this layered relationship." She's like, "So my sister who swiped every guy I've ever had my eye on has now swiped the last guy in the whole freaked out world," and then shoves her. And then they just stare at each other and then they start laughing.
It's so siblings. To me, that is so like
It's so
siblings.
siblings, but there is truth to what she said though, even though they're
Of course.
laughing. Like she
For
means
sure.
that.
For sure, for sure. Absolutely, I agree. But
So
the
now
but
we
the but
see,
it's the laughter is like, why am I it's the end of
yeah,
the fucking world. Like, what are we doing? You know
yeah.
what I mean? I appreciated it.
And I feel like Regina's laughter was also like, "You right. I
Mhm.
do that."
Mhm, mhm.
So now we see Hector rolling up to his mom's house. This is where I was like, oh, okay, he has a semi truck. That makes way more sense.
He's
He,
rolling up.
yeah, he he goes inside. There's a record playing on repeat, but no one seems to be home. He starts taking some personal belongings, photos, trophies, and then he hears this noise, a snarl. He opens the door to find a child zombie, and he just shuts the door on the kid, and then the kid barges in, like knocks the whole door down. Hector starts dodging, even though he does have his gun. So he clearly doesn't want to shoot this kid. He's like, "You're
He
lucky
says
I
it.
like kids."
Yeah, he says it. You're like, would you?
It depends. I guess
If
if
that
I'm
kid
able
was
to,
coming at me like that,
if
I
you're
mean, I don't
very
like kids on a
clearly,
good day.
if you're very clearly a zombie, I think I might have to just take that over who else you are. You know what I
But
mean?
I also appreciate that Hector was like, I just need to get the fuck out of here. And I
Sure.
like that he got personal items. I thought that said a lot about
Yeah.
him.
And
Mhm.
also 1984 PG-13 movie, you can't shoot a kid zombie,
Oh,
even if
yeah,
they're a
good point.
zombie, you know?
Sure.
So the kid zombie ends up getting stuck in, Hector's throwing things at him. He ends up getting stuck. Hector escapes out a window. Okay.
Mhm.
You can't have the protagonist shoot a kid. You know what I mean?
True.
So back at the research lab, Audrey's logging her symptoms. This is where she realizes she's losing her memory. She can't remember passwords. She
Mhm.
can't even spell memory right. She's kind of laughing about it, but it's serious.
Dude, it's scary. That's terrifying to me. Oh my god. And we
That is one of the most terrifying things to me. Yes. Uh,
we find out that they're going to be doing some like blood tests to see. Well, we find out more things as we go, but they're
yeah.
doing some blood testing, and and it's very clear that Audrey does not want the survivors to come to the facility, but Dr. Carter really does.
Yeah. And so she starts walking with this is Dr. Carter in the scene, right? With
Mhm.
her. And he's like, it'd be most beneficial for you to conduct the blood test on these kids that we found, the teenagers, which is Regina and all them,
Mhm.
in the field. So he wants her to go to LA with a few of the other scientists.
Mhm.
She does not agree with bringing the outsiders to the facility, but she's like, whatever the majority wants, I guess.
Mhm.
Like they
Yeah.
all made this commitment together. So she's
Right.
kind of stuck doing what they want to do. And they go
Yeah.
outside to see a helicopter dropping off two survivors that happen to be children.
Yeah, Sarah
And
and
then
Brian.
I'm thinking, oh, perfect. They saved these kids. Like, why is she so mad about it? Because we see her go off with, I think, Dr. Carter. We can't hear what they're saying because the helicopter's so loud, but you can tell that they're arguing.
Mhm.
Now we go back to Regina and Samantha sitting on the hood of this cop car that they took. They're kind of in the middle of nowhere,
Mhm.
and Samantha is drinking. Regina's like, that's the 12th can you've downed this morning. And she's like, I'm thirsty.
I couldn't tell if she was drinking booze or Coke, Pepsi.
The fact that she mentioned her drinking, I thought it was alcohol, but I
Yeah,
don't
it
actually
could have
know.
been. I'm not sure cuz she yeah, I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell. She does bring up that she's getting a rash, and she says it's from anxiety. She gets
I love
like
this line
anxious.
though, because this is kind of what you were just saying. Regina's like, what are you going to do when your complexion freaks out? Meanwhile, we're in the apocalypse.
And
And she's
me,
like,
I'm like don't I'm like don't
the
worry, I'll
dermatologist
figure it
is
out.
dead.
I'm like I'll figure it out, girl. Don't you worry.
Don't
Okay?
worry, we'll go to his office. But yeah, that's where
Don't
she
worry.
realizes I'm getting a rash. Um,
Mhm.
and then she starts asking Regina if she likes Hector. And Regina's like,
Yeah.
I
They
guess
gush a
so.
little. Yeah, they gush a little bit.
Mhm.
I put Regina likes him and then I put in parentheses. I would.
Wait, what did you say?
In parentheses, it says, I wrote, they gush about Hector. Regina likes him. In parentheses, I put, I would too.
He's the last boy on earth. What are you going to do?
But she goes, he's nice. And in my notes, I went, babe, nice? It's not enough. Okay. There are a
No,
lot of nice boys. They
not
present
anymore.
nice. Not
Not
anymore.
in the end of the world.
They present nice.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Sam kind of reflects back on, realizing like this boy that she had a crush on who was going to ask her out, he's probably gone. Her girlfriends are probably gone. And she's sort of like feeling the loss of her friends here. Right. And
Yeah. She
it's
starts
just like,
crying.
she starts crying, right? It's like realizing like these people that I've known for so long that are in my life are probably fucking gone. So what do you do when you're feeling sad and despair? What do you do, AK?
Well, Regina says, let's get creative. You have an 80s montage at the mall.
Obviously, you go to the fucking mall, babe. You go
And
spend
it's
some money, treat yourself. That's how we do it.
and to girls just want to have fun of all songs. This is the epitome of a fucking montage right here.
Dude, this
80s
would solve my
mall.
life. This would
Girls
solve
just want to have
everything.
fun.
Yes.
It's not the Cyndi Lauper version. It's
No, it's a
sung
cover.
by Tammy Holbrook. Okay, I was like, how did they do this without getting sued? And I looked into it
Uh-huh.
because I could immediately tell this is not Cyndi Lauper. However, it was very close. Like I had to go, wait a minute, is it? No, it's
Mhm.
not. It's because at the time it wasn't illegal to do that, to have a sound alike. And
Mm,
so from what I could find, they were likely only paying like a publishing mechanical royalties type thing, not a label master rights.
mm.
The license, so what I read was about the licensing. They probably licensed the publishing rights to the song from the songwriter, which was originally Robert Hazard, but avoided the much more expensive, high profile recording master rights of the hit version. So it wasn't until 1988, so 4 years after this movie, that Bette Midler won a historic lawsuit against Ford Motor Company, of all
Whoa.
places, Detroit, woo woo, um, and its advertising agency, because they used a voice impersonator to sing one of her hit songs after Midler declined to do their commercial. And the
Whoa.
court ruled that if there's a distinctive voice of a professional singer that's widely known, and there's you deliberately imitate their voice to sell a product, that constitutes misappropriation of identity. That was not a
Wow.
law before. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that's crazy. So it protects artists then.
Yeah,
Wow.
absolutely. I think
My
that's a great
gosh.
thing to have. But that's why
For
when I
sure.
heard the song, I'm like, I feel like they probably didn't pay Cyndi Lauper like for the hit that was
Yeah.
Girls Just Want to Have Fun. So how the hell did they do this? And that's
They
how.
I love it. That's I love when you go down rabbit holes, it's the best.
Me
And
too.
it's such a great song for this scene, right? And it's
It
such
was
a fun scene.
perfect.
I who
Perfect.
hasn't wanted to do this? Like, I would love to be able to do this. It's so fun. They're running around, they're trying on clothes, they're dancing, they're having a good time. They're like it's like a big old department store, right? And they're like
Yeah.
trying on hats and like and they're listening to tunes. They got a boom box going. It's like finding some type of normalcy and fun in such a dire situation, you
Yeah, and
know?
I
I loved
love the
it.
juxtaposition of them in these fur coats, lacy dresses, high heels next to their fucking machine guns.
For sure, it's the best. Yep. Oh, this is what I wrote in my notes, okay? So they're having this great time. Everybody's like, "Woo, we're having a good time." The girls are enjoying themselves, and I wrote, "Of course, they're having a great time, and a group of men show up and ruin it. Fucking typical." Right?
They're being watched on the mall security cameras by a group of dudes. I think this is where, before I realized who that was and I'm writing my notes, I was thinking that was the research center still like spying on them. Like they hacked all the cameras or something.
Okay, I mean, that makes sense, but no, the guys that are watching them, they straight up look like non-playable characters. Like they're
Yeah,
like they're wearing sunglasses, like
all
outside
black.
all black. Like they honestly they look like when you're playing a video game and then people run up on you and you just have to like beat their ass. Like that's what they
Yes,
look like.
they
Like,
all look the
yeah.
same and you're just like, "Brrr," yeah.
Mhm.
So one of them's like, all right, let's do it. And they cock a gun and they head out. And then meanwhile, Samantha's telling Regina that Hector might be gay because he didn't come on to her the night before. And I was like, I hate when I'm watching a movie, especially from the 80s or 90s, and they just have to say something fucked up. Where I'm like, why did
Always.
you even have to add that?
I know.
Because she also
It's a
uses
sign of the
terms
time.
that we won't
Sign of the
repeat.
time.
But
Yeah,
I'm
sign of the
like,
time.
come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So over the PA, they hear a voice saying that they hope they have their credit cards to pay off all that stuff. And then the girls are freaking out. They're quietly grabbing their guns. Regina shoots out a camera, and then the voice says, "Get her, boys!" And they just start blasting. Okay, just wasting ammo.
Oh, dude, they are go off. Like it is like a
Yes.
full on like shoot off. It's yeah, it's
Yeah, I
wild.
also wonder. Okay, so Hector brought the one small gun, right, that she was making
Yeah.
fun of earlier.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now they got this machine gun because I'm assuming she was asking Hector if he knows how to get to that reserve where she used to do target practice. I'm
Mhm.
assuming they went there to get that gun, the machine gun.
Probably. Yeah,
But why did
probably.
they only grab one?
I I I have no idea.
That part I'm like, anyway,
Or they found I mean, they might maybe they just found that gun. Everything's
that's a
deserted,
crazy
so
gun to find, but it's possible. It's definitely
yeah,
possible.
I don't I have no idea.
But yeah, they're just unloading all these rounds and missing, wasting them on human women who could be teaming up to help you, but you want to kill them for some fucking reason.
Well, we find out why, but yeah.
Yeah, we do. I always find it very interesting, very frustrating, and also very realistic when in horror movies, you have this unprecedented threat to humanity going on,
Yeah.
but still, one of your biggest dangers in life are fucking humans.
Of course. I wrote something very similar in my notes. It's so true. It's like, can we all not just like can we all just not? Like
Yeah.
like
Can
why
we
do we
all
all have
just
to be
fucking not?
can we all just not? Like why are you being pieces of shit? Like, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Ugh. Yeah. Anyway.
And
Uh the ch-
Samantha starts. Oh, go ahead.
oh, I was just going to I was gonna say the chopper. The chopper
The
arrives.
chopper.
The chopper arrives.
Yes.
And it parks
Samantha
next to the
starts
cop
throwing
car.
shoes. What? What did you say?
I said the chopper arrives. And it's chilling next to a cop car. That's all I said.
Got it. Samantha starts throwing shoes at some of the guys to distract them.
Mhm.
The girls are all dressed up too still, by the way, which makes this even better.
Mhm.
While this is happening, uh, we see that Samantha makes it up to like one of the second stories, you know? She ends up
Yeah.
dropping a TV from one of the higher floors onto the guys.
Mhm.
She's like, eat glass. I forget what she calls them. I wish I wrote it down, but something about eat glass.
Yeah.
She's fighting some of them off too, like kicking them in
Yeah.
the gut, knocking them over. She does eventually get caught. And so now these guys, these NPCs, are threatening to kill Samantha if Regina doesn't come out of hiding.
They're like little goons. Like they're
They
just straight
are.
up fucking goons, man. They're like
They're
little fucking
moon
shits.
goons.
They're moon goons for real
They
moon
totally
goons.
are.
Ugh, moon goons. And also, the music is still playing. There's a boombox going, and it's still playing music as this is all happening. And I love that. I love when it's not just music playing over the film; it's music playing in the film.
Oh yeah, I do love
I love
that. But
that.
in this
Mhm.
scene, if this was real life, I'd be so overstimulated, which they
Oh,
are. He eventually tells them to
ah,
turn off the music and they
yeah.
shoot the boombox.
Oh, I would be complete. I mean, I told you this morning I was overstimulated and I threw all my makeup brushes all over the place. So yeah, for
Sometimes you
sure.
got to.
Sometimes you do.
But Regina does eventually appear. She has a hostage. She has one of his moon goons. And the guy goes, Miss, you don't get the point. I can't have you holding one of my people hostage. And then he shoots the man that Regina is holding, his own guy. So
Hmm.
he's unhinged. And
Yeah.
Regina calls him crazy. And he goes, I'm not crazy. I just don't give a fuck. And I want that on a t shirt.
Me too, because straight up, number one, it's a great line. And number two, that is a terrifying thing to have someone say to you when you're in that situation. Like, that is just a
Also,
scary thing to say, period.
yes. And it just occurred to me, I'm shocked he could drop an F bomb. Maybe they only got one to keep it
Mm,
PG-13.
probably. Yeah, they probably were only allowed one.
Holy shit. So
Hmm.
the research team correctly guesses the teenagers with nothing to do would head to the mall. So they're going to
I
go find them there.
I know, I love that. I'm like, there's a shopping mall. Let's go.
We
They're
know where they
brainless.
are,
They're brainless. They'll be in there because they're brainless consumers. Like, I think that's what he says, something to that effect,
and
right?
they're not wrong. They're
No.
not brainless, but they are teenage girls.
Consumers. Yeah.
So back at the mall, these guys now have Regina and Samantha chained up, like
Hmm.
literal chains around them, and they're
Hmm.
back to back. And Samantha's like, "What do you want? Like, we'll pay for it if you want us to." The main guy, the main moon goon, takes his glasses off. His eyes are all sunken in, like you can tell he's changing, but not fully yet.
Yeah. So he's one of the uh, zombie-esque individuals, which makes sense why he is so like doesn't care and is gross. But
Hostile?
my favorite thing about this too, though, is so he takes his sunglasses off and he shows her like, "Yo, look it, I'm one of these decaying motherfuckers." But then he goes on and on about how he had to work like a shitty job making like minimum wage and like life sucked and like I'm sure he's pissed that they are one, women, two, they come from money, three, they're pretty, four, they probably never talked to him ever. And he just kind of like yaps off like how unhappy he was with real life, but now it's okay because now he's in control and he's like kind of like drunk with power here. But it's just
Yeah.
such a fucking like, of course, you're just like, you know.
It's
Anyway,
also interesting that he still has those thoughts. So yeah, he's not fully changed yet. He's not a mindless zombie.
but I
I don't know
don't think,
why. Feel like I just added an extra syllable to mindless, but we're just gonna go with it. Uh,
yeah, because he still has functioning thoughts
yeah,
and he's still pissed
but you're still
about.
resentful.
He's still resentful, but I also kind of liked it because, like, yeah, that is a pretty standard motive for,
Yeah.
you
We'll
know,
also find, at least from my perception, it seemed like once people start to change, they get extremely hostile
hostile. Yeah,
and like
dude, for
start to get
sure.
just angry.
Yeah.
And so when she says, "What do you want from us?" Like, we'll pay for it, whatever. He says, "You wouldn't believe what we want from you." Yuck.
Yucky.
I hate that
Gross.
because I also don't know what that means. Are you
Mm-mm.
cannibals? We just never saw it. I don't know. Is
I
it
don't know.
worse than that?
I don't know.
Anyway,
Gross.
now he wants to play a game and he is playing Russian roulette, but just by pulling the trigger at Samantha's head with Regina
Mhm.
lined up right behind her. He's not like
Insane.
doing himself, he's just pointing it there and he keeps pulling the trigger. Nothing's happening. And then he checks to make sure, oh, did I even put a bullet in here? Oh, yep. It's just a matter of time. And then he goes to fire again and we hear a gunshot and Regina flinches, but he is the one being shot. This whole
Mhm.
gang is now getting blasted. And it's the research team. They save them, sort of.
Yes, sort of. They sort of saved the day, kind
Which
of.
first I was like, why? And I'm like, oh no, I do understand the motive. Okay.
Yeah.
I understand. So now we're at the chopper, and Audrey is having a little side conversation with Oscar, one of the other research guys.
Mhm.
And he says something about the irony of all the great intellects who should survive, implying like these dumb valley girls are the ones to survive, really? And then he goes, I don't even need to see the results of the blood test. I can guess what they say about that one. We don't know which one, but Audrey has a weird look on her face, and then she closes her notebook like she's like, yeah, you're right. It would be senseless to bring her back. I'll stay back and take care of it.
Mhm.
So he says, well, you know, I can't let you stay back by yourself. So then the next thing we see is Regina in the helicopter with the rest of the team, and it's Audrey, Oscar, and Samantha staying back.
Mhm.
So Regina clearly thinks, okay, they're going to come back for Samantha, which we've seen that in other movies. Like, oh,
True.
yeah, not everyone can fit in the helicopter at once.
Right.
She thinks they're going back for Samantha. And as Regina's flying away, we hear Samantha saying to Audrey, oh, yeah, thanks for suggesting that we wait for Hector. And she goes, I'm sure Regina will get him, but I'd like to have a shot at it. That dynamic is crazy to me. She even says, Hector's not exactly a fox, but considering what's left, he's not bad.
I think Hector's so cute.
He is a
What?
fox.
He is a fox. What are you
But
talking
also,
about?
this just made me think about how, like, everyone who complains about dating apps and how horrible they are and, like, how awful it is to try to talk to people on them, which they are. I've been there before.
Did I show you uh, did I screenshot it? Oh my god.
Oh,
We'll
I
talk
don't
about
think
it
you
off
showed me
air.
screenshots. You told me about some
Oh,
things.
oh, we'll talk.
We have
I'm
so
off them
much to
now.
catch up on.
Listen, I was only on Bumble for like a minute, and then I was on Raya and Bumble for about 5 minutes, and I went, "This is Black Mirror. I will meet somebody in the wild or never again."
I've done it before and I know it fucking sucks. Like I understand, but this is why. There are too many fucking options at your disposal and in people's minds. I think that's what they think of it is you're at their disposable. You're at their disposal and
Yeah.
that's why they ghost all the time. They swipe into oblivion because the options are overflowing and they feel like, "Oh, I can find better. I can find better. I can find better." All you have to do is just be the last person on earth and then everyone's going to be fighting over you.
I mean, I think I would just become a recluse.
Oh yeah. Also,
I might still.
even if we were the last people on earth and you're not a nice person and you are a piece of shit, I'm still not fucking you.
Oh, I'm not fucking anyone. Are you risking the chance of getting pregnant in the apocalypse? Are you fucking crazy? No way,
But you
bro.
can go to any facility and get whatever you need to make sure that doesn't happen,
Oh, that is very
for
true.
free.
Very good point. But in any event, yes, I'm with you on that. Dating apps are the absolute worst thing in the entire world, and I will never, ever in the history of life ever be using one ever again.
I think the only way I would ever be back on them in not never planning on it, but
Mhm.
it would have to be for satire.
Satire, okay, I guess,
It
but
would have to be if I brought back Fuckboy Roulette, which was a Twitch show I used to do on my Twitch stream. And
whoa.
I never showed anyone's profiles, but I would read them out loud so that we could dissect them and break down why it was a good or a bad profile.
You know what
My
also
intention was to help people to revise their profile so they didn't suck.
I love that. I love that. I feel like not knocking anyone that uses, apps. Use what you got to use, man. Use what you got to
Yeah.
use to find the love of your life, right? Fuck it, whatever. I don't know if you're gonna find that on an app, but maybe you will. I
Some
just
people
found
do. Some people do.
I just find it very like I can't tell how someone is until I'm face to face with them. Really like
You
struggle
will
with
never know. No one will
and
ever know how someone really is until they actually meet them in person and
yeah.
observe them.
And texting, like, I'm not good at reading tone. I find it to be very stressful when, like, people aren't clear. So, I'm
Yeah.
not good through, like, messaging communication
Yeah.
when I when someone isn't clear. Like, it
It's not the
weirds me.
same. We should talk
Yeah.
about this more in the extended because this is
Let's
a
do it.
whole conversation.
Okay, let's do that. All right, let's hop
Yeah.
back into the movie here. Yep, all right. Uh,
So Audrey is like, cool, cool. I'm gonna give you a little something now because I see you have a rash to
right.
Samantha.
Right.
And Samantha's like, no, no, no. Like, I always get rashes whenever I have a fight with Regina. If I break up with a boyfriend, like, I just get nervous rashes or, like,
Yeah,
that's a thing, like hives or whatever.
it is. Yeah,
She's like, it is
I get
not
them.
from the comet.
No.
But then she says, but if it is, this will get rid of it, right? And Audrey's like, sure, sweetie.
Mhm.
This part made me so sad
Mhm.
because she's trusting her. Like, you're just grabbing her and injecting her with something. And Samantha's like, okay, she's talking to her, she's being friendly, and you're about
Mhm.
to fucking kill her.
Mhm.
Or so we think.
I know.
But I really
I
thought
wrote
that here.
dude, I wrote down she killed her with like a whole bunch of question marks. I've seen this movie like 5 times and I was still like,
I thought, well, I'll tell you what I thought once we find out what does happen.
yeah.
Okay. So Samantha's like, asking, are you geniuses? And she goes, yeah. And Samantha's like, we had a couple geniuses at my school. They were all wimps. And then she closes her eyes. Those are her last words. They
Mhm.
were wimps to these scientists. And I'm like, yeah, y'all are fucking wimps too. You're killing these people for no reason.
Yeah.
Samantha, oh, I just said that. Audrey tells Oscar, I don't think we need to stick around now. Samantha didn't think Hector was coming back. We can just leave. And Oscar's
Mhm.
like, no, I think we can stay, but I think we should go back to the radio station because that's where Hector's gonna go back to.
Oh, dude, this is awesome. Can I also say Audrey tells I was gonna say Hector, Oscar, that the condition is accelerating and they only have hours. And they kind of
Yeah.
like they're kind of arguing a little bit. He's like, yeah, let's go back to this, let's do that. And she just straight up is like, there's tension. And he's like, you're not gonna shoot me, blah, 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 like joking around. She pulls out a gun and shoots him right in the head.
She fucking shoots him. She's like, I sure am.
Boom. Takes him out.
And I'm like, what is the goal here? Like, what is going on? I think they did such a good job with that.
No, they really did. And then we're going to cut to a car driving, and we see a man dressed as Santa kind of running around. And at first, I was like, who is this? It's Hector. He goes back to the radio station looking for Regina and Sam dressed as Santa Claus. He has presents. He's trying to make this like normal. And oh my
Mhm.
God, I was like gushing over Hector at this point. I'm like, Hector, you're my man. I love this. Okay. I was gushing over Hector at this point. I'm like, Hector, the bar is in hell and you are bringing it back to like a normal baseline. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he goes inside, he's looking for them, right? They're not there, but Audrey is. She's sitting on one of the couches wearing sunglasses, drinking like little, like, the alcohol bottles you get on an airplane.
A Mickey? Is that a
Um,
Mickey?
no, a Mickey's bigger than that. A
Oh,
Mickey's a
okay.
little, yeah, a Mickey's a little bit larger.
A shooter.
A shooter. Yeah, yeah, shooter. Exactly. So she's sitting there and she's pointing her gun at Hector. Okay. And he asks her, he's like, have you seen the girls? And she kind of starts to tell him that she wrote some things down on a notebook that's on the desk there.
Yeah, because she
And
can't think straight.
she can't think straight. She's obviously, we know that what's happening, right? Like there's a
She's deteriorating.
deteriorating is the word. Yes. She's yapping to him, but it's if you don't know what's going on, what she's saying doesn't really make much sense. At least it doesn't to Hector. She asks him if he needs a gun. He's like, nah, I'm all set. And she basically kills herself. She injects herself with a type of poison, I'm assuming, that kills her. But she does tell him that they're generating a serum. And when the comet hit or whatever the fuck, one of the scientists left the vents open and there was a fan running. So causing them to be exposed to the outside air, contaminating the facility. And she's going to be dead in 36 hours no matter what. And basically, like, yeah, she's out and she's going to kill
Yeah.
herself.
And she's just rambling here about a lot of stuff. It doesn't make sense. But yeah, she's telling Hector that notebook explains everything and he's going through it and he's like, what's this about blood? And here I'm like, okay, she just injected herself with the same thing that she injected Samantha with. And she's
Mm-hmm.
just like, bye. And
Mm-hmm.
especially here, I'm like, but why?
Mm-hmm.
We'll find out.
Mm-hmm.
So she does tell Hector the last word. She says, she was right. You are cute, Santa
Mm-hmm.
Claus, and then dies.
Yeah, which means obviously Regina mentioned that she was a cutie pie, or maybe Sam. Someone said it. Maybe it was Sam.
And this whole time, I'm like, Audrey is such a fucking bitch. Like, why are you a bitch, Audrey? Meanwhile,
Mhm.
Audrey is just misunderstood.
I know.
But
We
we'll
love
find out.
Audrey. Yeah.
So back at the lab, Regina is being interviewed. And she's, of course, not taking this seriously. She's joking about, one time I got mono from some guy in school because they're asking about her health history. Like they want to make sure that she's very healthy.
She's
She never
healthy.
had
So
what?
diabetes,
Yeah.
hepatitis, like very specific. And like at first I wrote, oh my God, please tell me she's a Virgo, but she's not. She's a Cancer. I loved the way she was answering the questions.
Oh yeah,
Like,
she does say that she's a cancer. He's like, "You have cancer?" She's like, "No, I am a cancer."
I love it. I'm like, she sounds like me, but she talks like me. I think that's why I like her so much.
I
We
love the
found,
bluntness. I really do.
yeah, that's what I think I like. I like that she's so blind. We're going to cut over to our other group of scientists that are in the same facility, okay? We're going to find out here that they're bloodletting and they need 300 cc's of blood every day from what we find are individuals that they are extracting blood from, right? These are humans, right? And they're taking their blood.
These are
And
the survivors.
the survivors, we find out here that they're trying to make a serum with these people's blood, right? And it's all just very dark and very like
I found it interesting because I didn't realize they were taking 300 a day at first because she just said we need to take 300 cc's. And the one I kept calling them nurses just because they were doing something medical. For
mhm,
lack of a better term, I was calling them the nurses. But they the one says, well, if we take 300 cc's, they're going to expire. And then the other one says, no, 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 they're brain dead. So it's fine. They're basically just manufacturing blood at this point. But I
yeah.
was like, how much blood do you donate? I looked it up. Normally, when you give a blood donation, you give about 450 to 500 cc's of blood. However, if it's a day, yes, that's too much because you're only supposed to donate blood like that for like every 2 months or something like that.
Oh, got you. Okay.
But the one is like, well, we're not going to get 300 cc's out of those children. And the other says, well, no, but we will out of that teenager. I hope she's as healthy as she looks. Did you see her hair? I'd do anything for hair like that.
Hmm.
And now here, I'm like, uh-oh, there's a little twist. Maybe Audrey wasn't a bitch after all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So Regina is still being interviewed about her health specifically, and she wants to know where she is and what she's doing there, and Dr. Carter won't answer.
Hmm.
Now he's
But
starting to get bothered by the lights.
yeah, but he like straight up tells her that Sam is dead, and he does
Yes,
it
so
in such a you know.
it seems like he's transforming here in as we're watching him because he's kind of
Mhm.
just asking that was very Midwestern. He's asking her health questions, but he's just very like straight faced. But then once he starts getting annoyed by the lights, he puts on sunglasses and then his
Yeah.
mood changes.
Yeah.
So Dr. Wilson comes in and calls Dr. Carter out. He needs to talk to him. And as he's leaving, Regina asks where her sister is, and he just coldly says, "Your sister's dead." And Regina's like, "I'm sorry, what?" And he says she was exposed. She was going to die in 48 hours anyway.
Imagine hearing that about your sister. I would fucking lose it. I can't
She
even imagine.
does. Regina
Yeah.
is obviously shocked.
Uh-huh.
So that's all we see of her at this moment. She's just in shock.
Mhm.
And now we see that those nurses are prepping the children.
Mhm.
And Dr. Carter is being informed that Audrey is not back yet and they may have a problem. And we are seeing here that Dr. Carter's whole personality is shifting. He's such a sarcastic asshole to, I think it's Dr. Wilson in the hallway,
Mhm.
but it is funny. Like he just is like, what? Like, do you not know 2 + 2, man? And as he's like walking down the hall, turning the corner, you can still hear him like talking shit.
Yeah.
He's just very irritable and hostile.
Yeah. Well, makes sense because they were all exposed, right?
Yeah, he's changing. And
Mhm.
so the other doctor, which is Dr. Wilson, goes back into Regina. He apologizes about her sister, but he sees that she's knocked over some equipment.
Mhm.
She's fucking pissed. He goes to pick it up and he's like, you need to be mature about this, about you killing my sister and potentially doing the same thing to me. She knocks his ass out because she's a badass.
Mhm.
And
We
of
love
course, she
Regina.
escapes.
Yeah. Mhm.
Now, outside, we see Hector pull up to the facility dressed and speaking like a cowboy.
It's awesome.
He has a different accent and everything. He's fucking with the security guard outside. And let me tell you, Hector is wearing some nut huggers.
Oh,
Like, if
damn.
you,
Damn.
not saying you need to go back and look just for that, but I was like, when they showed him standing up, I was like, oh my,
I've
Lanta.
I've never heard the term nut huggers before until right now. Did you see the
I'm
thing on TikTok where a guy told girls like how to tell what a guy's did you hear any of that? Okay, we'll talk about it
no,
in the extended. We'll talk about it in the extended.
gotta write it down in the extended.
Yeah.
So he's like, "Do you like girls?" to the security guard. "Come look at this." And he shows him Samantha's body in the trunk. And the
Mhm.
guard's like, "She's dead." And he's like, "She ain't dead. See, this lady shot her up with sodium pentothal to make this fellow think she was dead." And at that moment, Samantha opens her eyes, grabs him, and Hector knocks him out. And I wrote, "Yay."
It was great.
So Audrey was against this lab's nefarious agenda this whole time. She was trying to help the survivors actually survive and not get their blood farmed by these scientists who just want to make a serum for themselves.
Yep.
They're not trying to save the world.
No, we find out Audrey is a baby face.
Yeah, big
Yeah.
baby face reveal
Big
right
baby
there.
face turn. Yep, big baby face turn.
What did you just say? Oh, the TikTok thing. Do you want to take it over? I'm going to write down in our notes that we're going to cover the TikTok thing.
Yeah, for sure. So Regina's running through the facility here. She's looking in all the rooms. She's kind of hiding from the scientists. But she ends up finding the bloodletting room with the other patients that are, being drained. And one of the other scientists finds her, slaps her.
Mhm.
Okay. He tells the rest of the group that everything is under control. It's clearly not. The facility is not under control right now. Okay. Meanwhile, Hector is strapping live dynamite to a vehicle outside. This is like live stick of dynamite. Wild. Whenever I see sticks of dynamite like that in TV shows, I always think of Lost. And in the show Lost, someone found live dynamite on the island, but it was one of the characters was like, yo, if you touch that live dynamite, that could explode in your hand. Because I guess if it's like sitting for too long, it's like it can go off or something. So
Mm.
whenever I see anyone in a movie fucking with live dynamite, like dynamite sticks, I'm just like, oh my God, they're gonna explode. Scares
That's
me.
terrifying.
No, for sure. So Sam goes into the facility, right? And the scientists are about to put our kids, right? Sarah and Brian to take their blood, right? And they're kind of like, oh, the scientists are like, oh, we're just going to put these funny little masks on you and you're going to be laughing. And when you wake up, you're going to be in such a great place. Like they're just like kayfabing to these kids, essentially,
Yeah.
right? They
They
tell her they're
tell
going to
them
see Santa. Your Santa's coming. You're going to see Santa. Like it's
that's
all
so
just
fucked up.
it's so fucked up. It's such bullshit. Regina breaks in with her gun and they save the kids, which is very exciting.
In that time before Regina popped in, Samantha also killed the power. So like Samantha jump scares Regina in this moment too, where she spins around real fast, shoots at Samantha. Thankfully, Samantha ducks. I was like, oh shit, I thought she was actually gonna shoot her. And they have their
Mm-hmm,
little moment. I thought you were dead. They were exaggerating, LOL, that type of stuff.
mm-hmm,
But the power is out. So the life support systems for those brain dead patients is gone and now they're flatlining. And based
mm-hmm,
on what Dr. Carter is saying, it sounds like now they're of no use to them.
mm-hmm,
Because he says, well, we still have the two children and that girl. So he goes into the room where the children were to find that the nurses were hooked up to the laughing gas and they're just cracking up, which is
mm-hmm.
oddly very creepy.
It is really
They're
creepy.
just strapped in and strapped on and giggling. Not giggling. So Regina, Samantha, and the kids get outside. Hector is ready with a getaway car. They get to the gate and Hector stops to taunt the scientists who are following them. And Regina's like, can we just leave? Like, we can escape right now. But he's taunting them so that they get in the car to chase him, which when they do, it blows to smithereens because that's where he put the dynamite. And now all the adults are staring at this explosion. And all of a sudden, a guard that is now a zombie grabs the little girl, but they're able to fight him off. Hector shoots him. So now we cut to this storm that is sweeping through town, washing away all the red dust, and the clothes in the street are going down the sewers, which I feel like is probably not good, but it's symbolic, right? Everything's being washed away, starting anew.
Uh-huh.
Regina's taking pictures of the kids. I think she's using the Polaroid camera from the guys that kidnapped them earlier. Like they
Oh,
were using a
okay.
Polaroid camera.
I would say
Uh,
it's Easter. This looks like Easter to me.
Okay, I wrote that it looks like Easter because I wrote they're in their Easter best, number one, and also the
Yeah.
girl Sarah, the little girl, is holding her stuffed bunny. So I think that's why I associated it.
I think so. It just kind of looks like I could be wrong, but it seemed to me that time has passed. This does not
Yes,
seem like, oh, it's the next day and we're all, no. I
right.
would say at least a few months have passed.
Yeah,
Like it definitely looked, and it seems as though Regina and Hector have kind of taken it upon themselves to be parents to Sarah and Brian. It seems
yeah,
like they've kind of developed a little family here. I think they refer to themselves as aunt and uncle though.
yeah.
But it definitely seems like Regina has taken on this kind of parental role. and they all stand at the street, okay? Now, mind you, there is still nobody on Earth, apparently. And so they're all just like waiting for the light to change. They press the little button, and Sam's across the street and she's looking at them all and she's like, "What are you guys doing? There's nobody here. Like, cross the street." And they're like, "No." And Regina's like, "No, no. We are the burden of civilization is left on us. We can't just cross the street when, the light's not changed." And Sam is like, "Whatever." And she walks into the street and she's kind of freaking out about it. And all of a sudden, a convertible flies down the street, almost hits Sam, turns around, comes back to her, and is like, and it's a guy, and he's cute. And he's like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, I didn't mean to hit you or whatever." And she's like, "Yeah, dude.
Oh, they're
No."
smitten right away.
She goes, "No worries, man." So she looks and she gets in the car and she kind of turns to Regina, and Regina's like, "Well, make sure you're home by midnight." And this guy introduces himself, and his name is Danny Mason Keener. DMK, baby. You pull out, you see his convertible, you see his license plate. He's DMK. He's Regina's arcade nemesis. And they somehow tied that little piece from the beginning of the movie all the way back to the finish. What a strong fucking end. And we are at the end.
I completely forgot about the DMK thing, and I'm so glad that they answered it.
I loved that they brought it back. The music is happy. The credits are rolling over Regina, Sarah, Brian, and Hector playing football in the streets. We can assume that Danny and Sam kind of drive off to the sunset together. They're probably going to end up together. And it's all just like a very happy ending.
Yeah, and we end the movie on one of our biggest fears, which is being expected to repopulate the Earth.
No, thank you. I'm out. Not for
And
me,
that is Night of the
man.
Comet.
And that's it, baby. What a fucking fun ride, eh?
Yeah.
What a fun ride.
This is a really fun movie.
I loved it so much. Can I tell you a little fun fact?
Please do.
The little boy Brian, who's played by Chance Boyer, is actually the real life son of Sharon Farrell, who plays Doris.
Yes.
I thought that was really cute.
Yeah.
And the production designer, John Mudo, says that he kind of like, there was kind of like a comic book feel he wanted. And and that the characters were also all given specific kind of colors to sort of show their personality, or like to reflect kind of who they are as people. And I thought that was really neat. I know they did that a lot. I mean, I feel like they do that in a lot of TV shows and stuff, but I love hearing about it. I find it so interesting.
Yeah.
They made Sam's cheerleading outfit magenta and turquoise to make her really like stand out.
And she does.
And she does big time. Yeah. She's such a cutie. And the special effects were done by David Miller, who also worked on Freddy Krueger.
He did so many effects. It's crazy. Like, I wrote down some of the movies he's done. He did Friday the 13th, A New Beginning, Night of the Creeps, Tales from the Crypt, Terminator, Michael Jackson's Thriller video, Batman and Robin, a movie I mentioned in a recent episode, Nothing But Trouble. So many more. He also says in the DVD extras that Night of the Comet was his first makeup supervisor job.
Which is exciting also because I saw a quote that said by him, "I did a zombie cop makeup in Night of the Comet. Wes saw that picture and said, 'This is very close to what I want Freddy to look like.'" So it's interesting because A Nightmare on Elm Street came out in 1984, and so did this.
I looked up when they came out a week from each other, a week within each other.
That's interesting. So I'm not entirely sure.
It's very possible if that's true, then Wes Craven maybe saw shots from the film, not like actually watched the movie, but saw like stills or something as like, here's the work I do type thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. But I thought it was interesting either way.
Yeah, I think that's very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's also, I mentioned this earlier, that it is really, it speaks to the quality of the movie that it did so well coming out so close to Nightmare on Elm Street and also Terminator.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh my God, I love Terminator.
Because when you mentioned this movie, I had never heard of it. I mentioned this earlier. That was my first time watching. And the director talks about in an interview, I'm going to link the Yahoo, it's like a Yahoo Entertainment interview that I read, where he talks about how he thought that this movie had been long since forgotten, is what I'm trying to say.
Oh.
And he's really happy that people were still talking about it. And I think the interview was from like 2023. and that like it didn't have as much success as the same movies from the same genre in that time, like Nightmare on Elm
Yeah.
Street. It's not as successful as that maybe in some people's eyes, but that it is still a cult classic and beloved.
Oh my god, they made 15 million on a $700,000 budget. I say that's pretty
Yes.
successful. I love Night of the Comet.
Hell yeah.
Mhm. I don't have any more and little bits unless you do.
I do have some, but I also have some that we already said. So I'm like, okay, another fun poster was when I didn't mention this because we didn't meet Audrey yet in the movie, but when Regina leaves the theater in the morning after the comet and gets locked out, there's a poster for Death Race 2000 on the door. And that movie
Yeah.
is starring Mary Warrenoff, who plays
I love
Audrey.
that. I love that. Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Also,
awesome.
Eberhart, the director, Eberhart, says his intention was to make a film that was a homage to the B movies that he grew up watching, but that was a hard sell to producers. And he
Mhm.
said, quote, "Luckily nobody had any money for reshoots, so they were stuck with what I gave them."
I love, like, when you find facts that I don't know because this is so interesting. I'm like, "Ooh, that's interesting."
Yeah, okay, so the car. I mentioned the car earlier. I was going to say
Mhm.
the fun fact I have about it.
Mhm, mhm.
So, some people draw comparisons between Night of the Comet and 28 Days Later franchise because in the beginning of this movie, when Regina is fleeing on that motorcycle, she pulls up next to an empty Mercedes. This was Eberhardt's car. It was a brown Mercedes Benz 280 SE W116. Is that how you say that? I don't know.
Mm.
But that was his car. And in 28 Days Later, they have a similar scene with a Mercedes in the beginning of that movie.
Mhm, little
Was it a
homage.
purposeful homage? I
I
didn't
think so.
see any like
I think so.
official confirmation, but those two things happened and they look very similar.
Yeah, I think it's probably even if it's subconscious, but I think it's probably on purpose.
Yeah.
Two
Um,
on the money.
Also, Heather Langenkamp auditioned for the lead in this movie, but then
Whoa,
ended
that's
up
really
getting
cool.
Nightmare on Elm Street instead, which is really cool.
That is very cool. I love that.
I have a couple other things I want to talk about in the extended. I want to talk about Mary Warrenov and her memoir because she did a lot of wild shit. Like I know that's a very broad term to use, but like outside of movies too, before she was even an actress, where I was like,
Mhm.
oh girl, I want to deep dive in your life.
Oh, hell yeah.
And also some other fun facts about Kelly Maloney.
I love that.
Maroney. Sorry, I said Maloney because it autocorrected me. Damn you, autocorrect. But yeah, so thank you so much for listening. Let us know what you think about the episode, the movie, in the comments on YouTube. We have social media at Chainsaw Girls Pod, TikTok, Instagram. Our YouTube, I think you can also find with that handle. We have an email, chainsawgirlspod@gmail.com. And we also have a Patreon where every month we shout out our top tier patrons. Are you ready?
I'm ready to hear it. Let's go.
All right, we got Robert S. I almost said his full last name. I forgot. We don't do that here. Robert S., Jason M., John M., another John M., Devin C., David G., Jonathan W., Rob V., David T., Heather D., Franchise Driller. Shout out to you for this movie recommendation.
Hell yeah.
Millie C., Adrian G., Chris S., Alexis T., Adam VL, and James C. Thank you so much.
We appreciate you guys. We love you. Thank you for listening.
Okay,
Okay,
bye.
bye.